now I'm working on this. So this is the blade for the 300 inspired Spartan sword. It's me, it's a chance. How you doing? This Spartan sword. So I've got the railroad spikes in the forge right now. I already cut the heads off. And yeah, we're gonna forge some guards for this on the YouTube live stream to see how it does. Because I've done the TikTok lives, but I wanted to see how the YouTube live goes in comparison to the TikTok live when it comes to like viewership and things like that to grow the channels. I got like 8 new followers or something like that over on TikTok, so I figured might as well try it out over here. But yeah, this is a beastly thing, man. But the guards are going to be a set of downswept and upswept, like L shapes with some teeth. It's going to look really aggressive. I'm just going to forge the guards on live stream, and then after that I'm going to move over and record the rest of the fit and finish and assembly and all that for an actual video. But I think if I do it correctly, I can save the live on my YouTube channel to where I'll be able to actually have the live saved for the update. So for those of you just dropping in, we are working on the guards for this beastly 300 inspired Zyphos Spartan sword. Right now I'm just heating up some railroad spikes in the forge over there. So it's going to take a sec for them to get hot enough to pound on. Then we can start to shape them and move forward with all that. I'm trying to figure out the lighting situation here. Maybe if I turn that off, that'll help. No, that makes it worse. Take the hat off. For everybody in live, hello. Make sure to comment, like the live, all that kind of stuff. That way it helps reach more people. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them. I will be chit-chatting in between heats when the forge is running. So, yeah. A video on this won't be coming out for a while, but I do have a full-length build video in the works on this sword blade. And obviously we're going to do testing like we always do, but I figured I'd try out live streaming over here on YouTube since I've done it on TikTok for a while. They're not quite hot enough. They're getting there, but not quite hot enough yet. But I already cut the heads off the spikes, so that way I don't have these big bulbous ends when I'm using these to forge the guards. The benefit of having a small shop is it's hard to figure out where to set up a camera for live streaming. Is there any way I can do more interaction? No, we don't want to do that. Might have to delete something. That creates a little bit of lag, I think. Let me know if I'm lagging or if there's anything I can do to improve the quality of the stream. Maybe if I move my camera back a little bit, we can get some better lighting, possibly. Maybe. Chance is back. Where'd you go? I can't see who's in the live. Is there any way for me to see who's in the live? I can't see. I can only see that there's 4 people. So hello, everybody. We're about ready to get started. But before we do, I'm going to actually take my jacket off because it is rather warm. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. It is. It's nice out today. And I can tell you what, dude, by this fire, it's exceptionally hot. Oh, you saw skin? Well, my epidermis is showing. Maybe if I flex like that, get some people in here, show them the hammer arm, do the triceps. Go, ooey, ooey. Starting off with, yeah, show them off the guns, the pew-pews. But, yeah, we're starting off with just some dimpling, let's say, some spiking to the ends of these. But they will eventually go on our tank here, and those spikes I'm making are going to be on the outside, so it's almost going to be like a pair of steel knuckles on the outside edge of this guard. They're going to be L-shaped kind of guards. One back just a hair more. Step this one down. Right there. Feel for it. So we're getting to 3 steps now. But now that we've got the basic steps put in, we can make them deeper, so that way they stick out a little more. Thusly. So now now they're getting a lot deeper. That one's coming along well as well. I think I'm going to add one more step to each one of these, so they'll have 4 steps in total on each guard. If you guys haven't seen, we're working on the guards for this sword. Yet again, I'm going to keep repeating that for people who pop in who are newer. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and like the live. Thank you for the likes, Chance. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I make all kinds of weapons on this channel. Do some martial arts stuff as well. So that's the first one. Hey, thank you all for the likes. This is the first step out of those. We got 4 of them. We got 4 on that critter. Now we're flipping them around in the forge, and we're going to heat up the other side of those spikes, so that way we can start working on punching the holes through to fit them up on the tang of the sword. And then here in a minute, we'll readjust you guys over by the vise there, get this vise in place so we can hot fit the guards into place on this and get a rough hot fit going. If you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments. I'll be answering questions in between heats. So right now, for one of these, we're going to use... Got to go. All right, good to see you through, man. I'll chit-chat with you another day. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye. I'm going to be taking this chisel for one of them. It's a slot punch style chisel, flat on the top, and punching the slot for the top guard to fit, and then we'll be using a combination of a center punch and a flat punch in order to punch the hole on the other one to create the bottom hole for the tang on the bottom one. as you can see, we're starting to get that slot punched for that top guard. Start off with the center punch to mark where we want the hole to be. Then we can switch over to the round punch and start punching through. See, we're starting to get that round hole going for that bottom one. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to drop them down below. I will answer any questions or comments that you drop. This blade here started out as a chunk of leaf spring.
Christopher finished. This is gonna look so good.
Yeah, I think so. This blade started that thick. So there's your comparison of thicknesses. But it started out as a chunk of this stuff. Big old piece of leaf spring. But yeah, we're gonna basically give it some knuckles, all that fun stuff. The whole reason I'm making this is one of my subscribers here on YouTube asked me a question if I could actually make a Spartan 300 sword, and I'm making my own version of it. So in the movie, the swords they had were longer and pointier. They were about that much longer. This point came out much further, but I didn't really like that design. I felt like it wasn't really true to who the Spartans were. The Spartans were an elite class of warriors who were extremely strong, extremely proficient. They were aggressive. They liked heavy weapons. They liked to basically be efficient and brutish in combat. So I wanted to make a heavier, stouter short sword, almost like an axe sword, so to speak. Because I feel like this is more true to who the Spartans were than the one in the movie, that light, thin blade. It's more dexterous, the one in the movie, but it doesn't have the same impact as something like this would. It's getting deeper. Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild. Unfortunately, I have a lot of videos scheduled out, so it's probably not going to be, the videos on making it and testing it are probably not going to be out until the summer. That's why I wanted to do live stream too, is because the guy that requested me to do this, he wanted to see if I could do it. So I'm doing the live stream now in hopes that maybe he can see me working on the guards, kind of see it a little early before the videos go out. Just because my upload schedule is twice a week for the long form content. And it's going to take a while before these videos hit because I've got a Rapier Longsword Hybrid video going up, I've got the Warhammer videos going up, I've got a bunch of different videos that are still to go up on the channel, so I've got a lot of different weapons that I've already made that still haven't popped up on the YouTube channel yet, just because I scheduled them out so that way YouTube doesn't just think I'm spamming content. This one's getting close to being ready to punch through. Getting there as well. Getting there. When you can start to see on the back that thin sheet start to form, you know you're about there. Yeah, here in just a sec we'll be punched all the way through, and then we can start doing the hot fit on these guards to get them to seat where we want them to. After that, it's going to be a lot of grinding, which I'll probably end the stream because I'm not going to make you guys sit there and watch me rub this thing on a belt sander for like 2 hours because I don't have a 2x72 grinder. I just have a 4x36 belt sander and an angle grinder. So it's not going to be the most entertaining thing in the world to watch. Broken through. Just like that, we have daylight. Woo! daylight. Now before we hot mount them, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of tune-up work on the ends around where those holes are, not the holes themselves, but around where the holes are, just to smooth things up a little bit, get them looking a little prettier. I could have done this before I punched the holes, made it easier on myself. But sometimes it's good to make yourself a little challenge. What I'm doing is just the ends here on the other side of these guards. I'm going square to a semi-hexagonal shape. Just to give it a little more life. Make it a little more fluid. Slap this in place. And for people out there who say blacksmithing's not a workout, you can tell that to all the different muscle groups in my arm. Definitely looking forward to watching all the projects and upcoming videos. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. I do. I work pretty hard out here to make these things happen, and I try to, bring a level of art and quality to my stuff. So it means a lot that my subscriber base is growing. People are purchasing my stuff and giving me feedback on it, and they're all. So far, I haven't had anybody that was displeased with anything, which was really cool. I think my favorite thing was a Valentine's Day present. A guy got a mace for his lady, and then they destroyed an old table together and sent me a bunch of pictures, and I was just like, that makes me really happy. It's really cool when I get feedback from customers. Right now, I'm just rounding up the back end of this, where it might come in contact with the hand, just because I don't want it to be scratchy or uncomfortable to whoever's wielding it. can see, we went from square to almost a hexagonal shape and rounded off those corners. What am I making? I'm making the guards for a Spartan-inspired sword. Let me show you. So this is the blade. It's based off the swords in the movie 300, but I'm making the guards, the top and bottom guards for it right now. We're getting pretty close to being finished up. All I have to do is some tune-up work and then the fit-up work. Right now I'm just taking the corners off of these little edges. Message retracted. I don't know if you meant to do that or if that was not TikTok. I don't know if you meant to remove your comment or if YouTube took the comment away. If it did, I'm sorry. I would like to know what you would like to say. Did, said cool. Alright, peace. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. Let's get you guys moved over by the vise now so you guys can see the next step. There we go. It's good having you. Now we can start the hot fit process for these guards. Might need to move you guys back just a little bit in order to actually, there we go. This can be a bit tricky, depending on the blade profile, to keep it in the vise. This is why I need to get myself a better blacksmith vise. This is an old Wilton bench vise. Definitely not meant for what I'm doing to it. This part can be both very frustrating and satisfying at the same time. Eventually these parts will be welded in place. So that they don't ever have the chance to come off. Right now, just making sure they fit up the way I want them to. This one seems about good here. Take that back off. Working this critter down. Think of this almost like a reverse, like on-punching process that I'm doing here. Essentially what I'm doing is using the tang itself as a punch to shape the inside of that socket exact. Just getting a sense of where I want to bend these at. Okay. We'll set that one aside out of the fire for the moment, just so it's not interfering with things. Major upsides to doing it this way is that I don't have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours polishing and chamfering and all that stuff to get an exact fit up on these, like a lot of guys do. I'm doing this old doing it this way gives me an exact fit up without the worry of having to do anything major with tools that are way more expensive than what I can afford. I've always believed that if you're passionate about something, find a way to make it work. A lot of people make excuses. I make weapons. I know my heat treat went well because when I knocked it loose, it chipped my concrete instead of my tip. It's almost there. Straighten this back out a little bit because it's starting to try and turn the corner on me. Grab some of my water, it's getting warm in here. Excuse me. Make sure we get this nice and hot. guys back over to see the anvil so you can see the next step. Get it heated back up. Now we're essentially going to slide it through and just slam it down through the hardy hole until that final little bit of fit up happens.
Sorry, brother, been wild.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, David. Thank you so much for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Working on a 300 inspired sword here from the movie 300, the Zythos sword from 300. We're doing the guards right now. It's good to see you. Yeah, everything's going great. I do appreciate it. Yeah, that tip's still doing just fine. It's not deforming at all. Just chipping holes in my concrete. Cool that tang off a little bit so it doesn't screw things up. Since I left the tang soft, it did deform just a hair from pounding on it like that, but I can grind that back to normal, no problem. Now that we've got our guards slots rough hot fitted, I'm going to go ahead and put the bends in them with my rawhide mallet over the horn here. And this is going to basically give me that angle I'm looking for the top and bottom guard. Then we can put them back on the sword and see how they look. Tune things up if we need to. Then after that, it's welding, grinding, finish work, put the handle together. Once I get the grinding and welding done, I might pop back on to do some of the things like the mustard patina that I'm going to do on this blade, like the handle wrap that I'm going to do on this blade. Probably do those on a separate stream. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so that way you guys don't miss out when I live stream and when my videos go up. I do everything from blade making to martial arts stuff. So now, just take that little bit of bend down in there that's picked up. And then we'll go ahead and start giving it the bend that we want. that'll be the top guard. Make sure that that's in line, like suchly. Pull that off so that it stays to shape. Now we're just going to repeat that same process on this other guard here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and give them a little bit more bends. As you can see, they're both a bit large. So this one's going to come off to this side a little bit, this one's going to come off to this side a little bit. So let's go ahead and heat that back up. I can always reheat treat the blade if I need to. But if I do this correctly, since our tang's already soft, you can see the blade is not near the heat. Just those two guard pieces are. So in theory, I should be able to just heat up the front bits of those guards and bring them around each other without screwing up my heat treatment on my blade. Now we just need to get that top guard hot enough where we can cant it, bring them both together off angle of each other, so we'll have a big set of steel knuckles that run both directions like teeth on this blade. I seem to have gotten a little tiny burr of metal in my fucking sock. Excuse the language, it's just very agitating and quite painful. But such happens when you're in a blacksmith shop. Every once in a while you get a little bit of metal in your foot. Now since I'm so far away from the heat source, it is going to take a minute for that steel to heat up. Definitely going to be great. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's going to take a minute for that to heat up, just because of how far away I am from the heat, because I don't want to screw up the temper on that blade. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. It gives me time to take my sock off and figure out where the heck this burr is in my foot and take it out. Might be in my shoe. Nope, I got it. Getting there. We are getting there. Do you guys have any questions on any of the stuff I built previously, or anything that you would, I guess, request for me to build in a future video? You can drop it in the comments, and if I think I can do it, I will do it. So, yeah, I mean, if there's anything in previous videos you guys have seen that you want to know more about, or if there's anything you want to recommend for me to do in the future,